name is Pule. I come from a small town just out of Bloemfontein, Tabanchu. I actually went to high school, go Khoronyane High School in Tabanchu. Then I'm here at the US. So it wasn't that easy, but I'm gonna let you know how I made it through my hustles and my hardship. The first photo actually represents a new journey, the road to university access. In grade 10, I saw myself in university, but I knew the only way to make it there was to work harder. So that's why I sacrificed my sleep. Yes, I'm actually proud that I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning every day until my matric years, since grade 10. Yes, that's 2 years in a row. I actually was looking forward to making it easier for me when I get to matric to actually obtain more marks so that I may increase my chances to be accepted in university. So yeah, in grade 10 it was nice. Well, even though we had some challenges, but because you had to choose a certain subject, so you had to know exactly where you were heading or what kind of field you wanted to be occupied in, you wanted to work in. So yes, by grade 10 it was quite a hassle at first, but because the future looks bright from a distance, I thought everything was easier, and it seemed easier, and I was willing to make it easy. And since I actually made it by sacrificing my sleep from grade 10 until my matric, yes, I actually felt like I was so close when I got to matric. I felt so close to actually what I wanted. Like, finally I'm here, I'm going to university. But then I was looking through the prospectus for the options at my disposal. I actually saw that they were limited. So that's when everything started to change. Not permanently, but temporarily so, because I didn't have any solution at that time. And because my teacher mentioned the South Campus, and I think I was in grade 10 when she spoke about it. But then it wasn't necessary for me to go into detail and find out more information. But then when I got to matric, yes, it was a necessity for me. I had to know. So instead of actually following that prospectus, say yes, South Campus and the full details, I actually opted for other things. I tried sound engineering. I went to CUT. They offered me teaching. I went to hotel engineering. You see, all these kind of things, just because of the university access that I couldn't acquire. So I had to go all over the place, of which it took some of my time. But then I actually managed over some years to acquire certain certificates during all these hassles before I actually got what I wanted, and was to be here. So sometimes, even though things get delayed, it's a blessing in disguise, so to say. So whenever it seems so close yet so far, just know that you're close. Just keep on pushing. So I told myself that's the only way that I have to do it, even though it wasn't that easy, because I thought it would be easy by grade 12. Everybody thinks it. So I now believe it when my teachers actually told us that there's life after matric. There's no life before matric. There's just a child's play. So I had a challenge to actually start building a new life. Yes. But I was excited because I was close, even though it felt like I was far from close. And with all the experiences that one has to go through, obviously when you get to a new environment and move on from what you actually were comfortable around, you have to adapt to a lot of things. You have to make new friends. You lost your friends. Maybe the affection of parents being far away, it does affect one in a way. So yeah, experiences that you encounter actually make you who you are when you are at university, before you really get on at university. So with the experiences that I encountered by being all over the place just after my matric and getting where I am, actually it was worth it. It was worth it because I could have opted for easier things, but I took the harder road because I know that it's going to be fruitful and it has less consequences and penalties, unlike all the other ways that people try out, the easy way out. But yeah, with experiences, I actually had to settle for what I actually didn't want. Like my student accommodation, it wasn't conducive for students to study at. Because even my neighbors, I had those old grannies that used to drink the traditional beer in the yard next door, so they always sang. There were so many distractions. So for one who actually hustled to access university would complain and give up based on the situation or act otherwise. But then it is just one of the stories that I'll tell one day, and I'm here telling it. So the student accommodation, it wasn't nice because the rest can just eat your books, small things can disappear easily, people can break in, you can lose your laptops, your study material and all. But despite all that, looking at the bigger picture, knowing that these are experiences that do not define my journey, they're just part of my journey, but they don't define who I am. Maybe they define where I'm heading, but not who I am. So yes, that's how I took it. Then I looked over it. Yes, even the picture, you can see that it says sweet, but there's nothing sweet about that. There's nothing sweet about that picture. But yeah, we still managed to make it out to greener patches. You tell my story knowing that don't forget that there's a journey. Even when you get close, you feel so far sometimes. And obviously you have to go through experiences. So going through experiences sometimes leads one to actually, it forces one to have a choice, to make a choice. Am I gonna waste my efforts in bettering my life, as if that's a waste, in bettering my life, or am I just gonna waste my efforts in something that in something that doesn't benefit me at all, totally, and you complain after? So you just have to make a choice and take it. I'm good at complaining and I enjoy it. You can stick with it and live with it for the rest of your life, or you can try to come up with solutions and better life. So I actually chose a better life, even though it didn't seem like one at the moment. But yeah, I chose a better life. So choosing a better life, I knew that my academic life was actually in line. Yeah, by the time it is actually where I wanted it to be. On the other hand, accommodation, it wasn't that nice, but yeah, it was a drive for me to actually study harder, to increase my chances, to acquire a better funding, so that I may get a better accommodation. Because, well, not all of us get affected by the environment, accommodation, but well, I did, because I actually lost some of the things. People kept breaking in. The rain sometimes messed up my things, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I chose a better life. Even the picture shows that the environment or the accommodation that I actually wanted, it wasn't that high class of an accommodation, it wasn't that low class, but it was just average. So I just needed an average accommodation to actually perform my tasks. And yeah, moving from Kasi to the suburbs and adjusting again. Yes, that felt like finally I'm living a better life and I created one for myself. Like yes, that's it has a feeling of achievement. You know, you feel like yeah, I am what I'm supposed to be. I'm on the right track. So yeah. And inspiration. I like this picture. This picture has so much. Has so much. Anyone can say anything about it, and it still applies. I actually took a shot at this picture because of it reminded me of how diverse we were as a nation, and as small people in small communities, and as individuals and people we live with. So things have changed drastically over the years, and even among us small people, things have actually changed. We've gotten closer than before. So this picture, it shows two different people maybe, but they're in one structure. So it actually defines us as people, how different we are, but how united we should be to conquer some things, or how united we should actually be just to be humane. So with this picture, it is actually one of the things that inspired me. It symbolized my inspirations, because when you start to lose hope, especially when you are on at university and you feel like okay, I'm getting off, there's too much workload, there's this and that and that and that, not forgetting that you had so much to do before you actually had to access the university. Yes, because of the funds, but then you meet some challenges that make you feel like okay, I'm gonna give up now, that's it, I've tried. You need an inspiration. That's where I actually had an inspiration. I still have an inspiration. My mom was my first motive, and she still is. May God bless her soul. And yes, I got the inspiration. She's not visibly here down with us physically with us anymore, but she's up there. But yeah, she's still one of my inspirations. I don't want to change my motive because it's working for me this far. Whenever, because most students are gonna struggle with university access, so if there are people around you, just point where you should go. There are some people who are actually gonna defy your vision and your drive, but you just have to go through with it. Because when you get to offices, some people have specific bursaries or funds for certain family members and friends. But then if you just persevere and stay inspired, find other inspirations besides those people who try to help you, then it'll be easier for you not to blame others by just trying to make the best of it. This picture of a pine tree. We all know that pine trees are found at beautiful destinations or beautiful holiday destinations. So this picture represents my version of a destination, of which I think there's none, but yeah, my destination. Looking at the pine tree and seeing all those branches, those thorny branches, you know, it actually shows all the stages that one has to go through before you get to where you actually want to be. So yeah, at the moment I'm actually looking at the top of the pine tree, as in like I'm looking at the future, cause at the moment many students are struggling with financial access, with especially with NSFAS included and all other foundations and organizations, but still they're hassles. So if ever one actually has had a chance to be funded for a year, they must take an opportunity and use it to the best of their advantage, so that even when they lose it, at least there are still other options that are available for them to use. Unlike, well, when you lose your bursary right now, then you lose everything. You have to go back home, as if that was your sponsor's mistake. It was yours. They played their part. You just have to play yours. So, looking to the future should be more like looking at a bigger picture of your mission, so that you may not be discouraged. So, yes, even if you manage to get access to university, it doesn't mean that everything is secured. That's what most students are not aware of. You just have to maintain it and work hard to sustain it, because when you lose it, you lose everything, literally. Students don't get that. Please get that. Please. And students mostly like to complain. Just look into the future and all those other aspects that actually build your future should entail you not complaining. Don't complain too much. That doesn't help out. Okay, you can actually try to analyze the situation and look at the negative outcomes of the situation, so that you may be covered if ever something happens. But sticking with it and staying on it without trying to find another solution and just complaining won't help. Doesn't help at all. So that's what most students get it wrong. We like to complain more than we should. So yeah, with this the whole project, I actually tried to tell my story, which was titled Struggle and Perseverance, because I actually wanted to title it Perseverance and Struggle, but then I realized that I struggled, so I had to persevere to be where I'm at, and it actually makes sense. So the Photoverse project is basically for learners in high school. For those who dropped out of high school, you can go back to high school. Then there's an easier way that we're trying to find for you to come to university. For community members who were studying and are no longer studying anymore. For anyone who wants access to university to better their life or life of others. This is a necessity for you. Yes, you actually need this. It's important. So, you can come and join us, and this is what you need. Your parents will actually have it easier if you just follow us. Yes, on Facebook, on Twitter, and all. Even on the UFS website. Again, my name is Pule second year student studying BSOC extended program. And yeah, don't know if I should actually say, but this project gave me hope when I nearly lost it, because I actually lost 2 lives, important lives, my mom and my father, just a week apart, yeah, in the same month. But then this project gave me some hope. Yes, literally, I'm not joking, it did. And I'm gonna be part of it until the end. So I hope to see you soon. We'll work together. And yeah, I hope this breathes life into all that we're losing it. If you're choking, this is a CPR for you. So take it while you can. Don't be forced to, because you're gonna need it anyway. Yeah. Okay. Asalan sintle go siame, salane kahle. Nda.